What's going on, guys? In this video is going to be about the romantic comedy film, Your Place or Mine. Let's get right into the video. In LA in 2003, after an evening of playing poker with a couple, Debbie Dunn and Peter Coleman have sex and spend the night together in her home. 20 years later, Debbie and Peter are best friends. He has moved to New York City and has become a successful businessman, while she still lives in Los Angeles and works as an accountant at her son Jack's middle school. Debbie calls on Peter's birthday with plans to head to New York soon to complete an accounting program so she can get a better-paying job. His girlfriend of 6 months is next to Peter as he's chatting away to Debbie. As they go downstairs to catch their Uber for work, she realizes their relationship will not progress, so breaks it off. Debbie's ex-husband's actress girlfriend Scarlett is to watch Jack for the week, but flakes when she is offered a role in Vancouver for 2 weeks. Peter, who is suddenly single and in between jobs, offers to go to LA to take care of Jack instead. In California, Peter picks up Jack at school, where he learns that Jack's classmate Wade has stopped being friends with him. When Jack was not allowed to join the hockey team, he'd been replaced with Evan. Peter also learns the extent of Debbie's overprotective parenting. Arriving at the house, Peter meets Zen. He's an independently wealthy neighbor who spends his afternoons gardening on Debbie's property in hopes that she'll notice him. The house is covered with post-its and other notes detailing all of the do's and don'ts, so Peter decides things need to more chill and less rigid. The two friends berate each other for their apartments. While Peter's is gorgeous with a spectacular view, it's also characterless, and many things such as kitchen utensils etc. are still in their packaging. Whereas Debbie's is full of knickknacks and mementos. To get Wade to be friends with Jack again, Peter gets tickets for the skybox of a Kings game and encourages Jack to invite Wade and Evan, but this goes awry when they ignore him. Meanwhile in New York, Debbie attends her accounting classes and meets Peter's ex-girlfriend Minka, who invites her out for drinks. At the bar, Minka helps her catch the attention of book publisher Theo Martin and he gets her number. At Peter's apartment, Minka tells her Peter has written a novel. Debbie, who assumed that Peter told her everything, is shocked. After reading the manuscript, she gives it to Theo while out on a date with him. When he initially refuses to accept it, she pretends to be a freelance editor, so Theo agrees to look over it. Peter convinces the hockey coach to give Jack a tryout. Pleased, he offers Zen a beer and chats with him. Zen goes into detail about his plan to always be around until Debbie notices him. It reminds Peter about his feelings for her. Debbie inadvertently activates the remote camera and Peter sees her hooking up with Theo. Trying to move beyond it, he calls an old LA contact, but even though she's interested he can't bring himself to go home with her. Distraught, he blurts out to their mutual friend Alicia that he's been in love with Debbie since they met. Back in NYC, on Debbie's last day she aces her exam, adds some homey touches to Peter's apartment, and unintentionally discovers his hidden mementos of her, including a poker chip identical to the one she kept from their night together. When Debbie meets with Theo, he encourages her to get a job for a big publisher. Although grateful for his encouragement, when he alludes to feelings he may have for her, she confesses she thinks she's already fallen for someone. Peter calls, and before Debbie can tell him about her feelings, he tells her Jack is in the hospital for an injury from his hockey tryout. Hysterical, she demands Jack be put on. Elated, he tells her to stop it, that he's great and he wants things to change at home. Peter and Debbie come face to face in LAX, and after a heated discussion, they can't be apart and kiss passionately. 6 months later, Peter is a published author, Debbie an editor for an indie publishing house. Jack is firmly established on the hockey team, and finally Peter moves in with them.